In this video, I'm going to break down how any football player can be consistent. And this is the number one battle that every player, every human has to face, is being consistent. Because anybody can be good for one day. Anybody can be good for a week. But who can be consistently good for months, even years, okay? And today, I'm going to break down how to be consistent and also the science behind why you may not be consistent, all right? So you definitely want to take notes in this video because what I'm about to tell you might save your career and even better, your life, okay? What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video here at desireLess with your guy, KJ. Back here again, helping running backs elevate and dominate the competition, baby. And it's July. It's July now. We got one more month, 2 more months before the season. And I want to make sure you guys are well equipped to dominate, all right? And one of the key things you need to be able to dominate is being consistent, okay? Being consistent. What does that mean? Well, being consistent means, guess what? You bring it every day, all right? You're able to be the same person each and every day, no matter what the circumstances is. No matter if you're sad, you're happy, you're angry, all of that goes into how to be consistent. So the number one thing you understand is that there's ways to trick yourself into being more consistent. I consider myself a very consistent guy, not even myself. Other people have considered me a very consistent dude, as in somebody who, you know, stay consistent with their nutrition, their sleep, their work, I don't really let too many things get in front of me. Now, once again, I am human. Am I perfect? Am I a robot? You know, no, all right. But for most majority of the time, for 95% of the time, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, all right? And one things that helped me, all right, because I've read a lot of books, I read a lot of self-development books, I've watched a lot of self-development videos, I've tried things that worked for me, I tried things that didn't work for me, all right? So I can kind of help you kind of figure out how to be consistent. So number one thing you understand is that if you want to be consistent, you have to have habits, okay? Habits. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, well, duh. I mean, every book, every person says that I need habits. But what I mean by that is understanding what are habits even and why our body does it. So habits are pretty much everything you do every day. It's a habitual thing, all right? So me getting up in the morning and brushing my teeth is a habit. I do it pretty much every day, unless you're nasty, all right? Me eating food is a habit. I do it every day, okay? And the thing is about habits is that you use less energy, okay? Your mind doesn't think about it, all right? It is on autopilot, all right? So do you think about brushing your teeth? No, you just go ahead and do it. Do you think about eating? No, you just go ahead and do it. Even some other bad habits. Do you think about hopping on social media? No, you just do it. You made all those things in habit, all right? And the thing is that when you have a habit, you don't give your mind the option to think about it. I don't give my mind to be like, hell, well, do I feel like doing? No, you just do it because it's a habit, all right? So understanding that, hey, well, if habits work for a lot of things, like maybe eating, social media, you know, all the things that go into my life, how can I maybe use that to be consistent to get what I want to get, all right? Maybe I want to get in more extra work. Maybe I want to go to bed every time, okay? Maybe I want to do all these things. And the thing is, you can make anything in habit. What I was talking about, I pretty much consider myself a pretty disciplined habit guy. I have a lot of things I do every day that might sound extreme. For instance, a lot of people don't know or might know I track my food. I track all my food. I even weigh my food. I have a scale with me at all times. I weigh my food. Literally, I'm not playing. Right here. I weigh my food, like everything. All right, I don't sell drugs and nothing like that. But a lot of people are thinking like, man, that's too much. That's this and that. And for me, for you, yeah, it might be too much because you're looking at it from not a habit point, but just something you're doing. But I've made it a habit, so I don't use energy. It's on autopilot to be able to do it. I don't have to think about weighing my food. I don't think it just happens, okay? So you can create anything into a habit, and that's the thing you want to do because when you create stuff into a habit, there's less friction. All right, there's less friction. You don't have to think about it. I don't think about working out. I don't think about tracking my food. I don't think about waking up or doing certain things throughout my day to help me be successful. I don't think about none of that. I just do it. Okay, so that's what you need to do. You need to create your hard work into a habit. All right, so the thing is, in order to do a habit, you have to do it every day. Okay, and I'm not saying you have to do a lot every day, but you have to do something every day. Okay, it took a certain amount of reps for you before you start brushing your teeth every day. That, hey, after you just did it so many times that, hey, you just do it now. Okay, so let's say I want to go to bed consistently. I want to go to bed every day. Well, I need to make it a habit. And usually they say, science says it usually takes around a month, 21 days to be exact, but I'll just say a month to make something a habit. Okay, so the thing is, we need to string along certain days, string along every day of me consistently doing it every day, all right, to make it a habit so we don't have to think about it when it comes to getting in extra work, when it comes to going to bed, when it comes to eating healthier food. You make eating healthy food a habit. I don't have to think and negotiate myself, well, should I eat this cake or should I eat this protein shake? No, you don't think about it. It's on a habit, okay? And the thing is, this is where a lot of people fall into it, because they're like, man, like, let's go be honest, the first couple weeks are hard. Let's say the first 2 days are easy because you're motivated. And when that motivation goes away, from week 2 to 4 or week 2 to 3, those are usually the hardest, okay? And that's when people usually will fall off the mountain. They're motivated right here. By week 2 to 4, they fall off and they go back into the other bad habits that they had before. But the thing is that you need to push through these 2 to 4 weeks so you can put it on autopilot. I promise you, how hard it is during that time is going to be as hard as it will be in the future. Okay, once you make it a habit, it's not going to be hard at all. You just have to just go over it. You just got to get over that hump. Okay, you have to get to that point. All right, and a lot of people think like, man, well, like I just can't do it no more. But trust me, you're actually doing more harm than good, because when you quit, guess what? You start that cycle back over again. You got to start the hardest part again. When you quit and you try to get back on it, well, guess what? You got to leave all the hard stuff you just went through. You have to do it again. You have to start the hardest part. The hardest part is the beginning. Okay. So if you push through those 2 to 4 weeks of doing it every day, and I'm not saying you have to do extreme, even if you say I have to go to bed, okay, early. Well, let's put in things for me to go to bed early. Do it for 1 month. You don't have to think about it. It's just who you are. In order for you to be more consistent, let's put everything into a habit. We're habitual creatures. Okay. Humans, we have found ways to optimize and be efficient to be able to put stuff on autopilot. They say like use like 50% of your awake time or things you do is on autopilot. Like a lot of things, like when you're driving, if you drive, you don't think about driving. At least like if you're a new driver, yeah. But if you've been driving for years, or if you've been doing something for a long period of time, you don't think about it. You just do it on autopilot. You ever just did something and you really snapped out of it? Oh, like, well, how the heck did I even get here? Or how did I? Because you did it on autopilot. You have a habit of doing it, so your brain subconsciously it knows how to get there without having to really think about it. You might be thinking about something else. Okay, and also, just like habits, be able to create good habits, and being able to consistent, if you make it a habit, or if you want to be consistent making all the hard stuff a habit, it also works the opposite direction. So if you have bad habits and you have the habit of skipping workouts, all right, I got the doctor handwriting, sleeping in, overall just being a all right, we're not going to write that out. Overall, the habits of doing all that, if you do all those things, skip workouts, sleep in, you stay up late, eat unhealthy food, guess what? You develop the habit of doing all those things, okay? It takes 21 days, it takes a month to develop good habits. Well, think about how long you've been doing bad habits, okay? Think about how long you've been skipping workouts, sleeping in, doing all that. You might not necessarily even want to do it, but the fact that you've done it so many times, your brain does it on autopilot. Your brain looks at, hey, how can I cheat this? Hey, how can I not be disciplined? And it's on autopilot. So just by habit, you is lazy. Just by a habit, you're not ambitious, all right? And it's not even your fault. But guess what? It is your problem. So what we have to do is have to rewire the brain. Understand that, hey, me skipping a workout creates a habit, all right? It's more sinister than it actually is. Even if I can't work out, even if you just got on the ground, you busted 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups, you can do that in like literally 10 minutes. It's just the fact that you're keeping the routine, all right? So you're still on that 2 to 4 week cycle. So when you get to the end of that 4 weeks, now it's a habit. But if you skip and you get down to this part, well, guess what? You're making this part a habit too. And your body's just used to it. So, hey, well, usually when I start something, guess what? I usually fall off and then I go back. It's normal. It's normal. I skip workouts as a habit. It's normal. And thing is, you might not even want to, but your body is a habit of doing all these things, of being soft. Okay. So we have to trick the brain and we wire the brain from doing it. All right. And another thing that affects on like how to be consistent is understanding the body's reward system, which is the key word is dopamine. All right. So what is dopamine? Is pretty much, it's a neurochemical reaction in your brain that pretty much your body does when it feels good. Pretty much, serotonin, dopamine, all these different neurochemical emotions that pretty much change how you feel, and you need it to live. All right, they did an experiment of like had like some mices, and they pretty much took dopamine away from them. And like without dopamine, you really have no reason to live. You really probably just die. All right, it changes how you get rewarded for, you know, hard stuff, easy stuff, for all these different things. It's pretty much like emotions. How can I say happy, sad, this and that? All of that is like dopamine. Okay, and the thing is that you get dopamine for pretty much all the actions. All right, pretty much everything. Okay, and Sigmund Freud, one of the crazy psychiatrists, all right, he said that people are either running from pain or chasing pleasure. And I know you're like, well, KJ, where are you going from this? How do we go from habits to this and that? Well, here is how I'm going into it. Because when people associate pain, they look at it as being disciplined. This is discipline, working hard. What else? Being consistent. Like, oh, that man, that hurt. I gotta do all this stuff like that. They look at pleasure as sleeping in, eating fast food or a whole bunch of junk. What else? A lot of stuff. Chasing girls, or, you know, watching porn. All this stuff like that. All right, let's draw a man, stick figure, you know. Okay, I can't, but he's running this way. This guy, he's running to pleasure. Okay, we're running away from pain. We're chasing pleasure. And this is probably where you're at, where you think of discipline as being something super hard. You think of, you know, working hard, this and that. But the thing is, when you flip the script and you make hard work a habit, right now you have being lazy as a habit. It's your automatic default. Being is your automatic default. Okay, that's how I'm gonna say it. I don't want to be that cruel, but sometimes you need it that way. Being is your natural default. So guess what? You made it a habit. So you look at it as pleasure. But thing is, when you rewire the brain and you make all this hard work and everything, being consistent, working hard, eating healthy food, being ambitious, chasing your purpose, you make that a habit. Guess what? Now it turns to the op. People don't understand because they never even get that far. Is that when you're on your grind, so like for so long, this becomes pleasure. And this becomes pain. Like right now, if I don't be disciplined, if I'm not disciplined, if I'm not working hard, if I'm not consistent, even if I do certain things I don't like, I don't get enough work in, I literally hate myself. I literally, like, I'm angry about myself. If I BS, if there's days that I should have did something, I should have acted on a certain thing or anything like that, I hate myself. All right. And then what pain is, it's like when I said, when I sleep in, when I eat bad food, if I do something like that hurts me. Rather than for you, it's like, hey, man, I can't wait till I have my off day. I can't wait till I can do this, or, you know, stay up later or watch this and that. No, I take pleasure in being disciplined and working hard and being consistent because I made it a habit. I made it a habit, okay? And when you do that, you can make a habit, all right? That works good, because when you make this a habit, guess what? You get dopamine. You can get dopamine from hard work. A lot of people think they just get dopamine from all this other stuff, like eating fast food. Like when you eat fast food or you sleep in, you know, you feel really good. It gives you that dopamine hit, but that gives you cheap dopamine, okay? That gives you cheap dopamine, which it goes away. It's there for a minute, but it goes away, and it keeps you in a constant revolving as chasing this cheap dopamine. Rather, if you do your hard work, you know, when you accomplish some off your goals or you finish a hard workout, you feel good about yourself, right? Because you still got dopamine from that, okay? And you can rewire your brain. When you make it a habit, you start getting dopamine from the hard stuff, what makes it become a pleasure, compared to now, the bad stuff. Man, I feel bad about this, bro. Like I get fast dopamine, but I hate it. I hate it, all right? So you need to understand that this is how the body works. You need to understand that this is how your mind works. So you have to create habits out of the hard stuff, even if it's just a little bit. Even if I'm gonna read every day. Let's say one day you're super tired, you've been out all day. Even if you just pulled the page and you read one page, the fact that you kept the streak alive, you made it a habit, you didn't fall to it. Because when you fall to it, you get back into that cycle again. We don't want to get back in that cycle again. We want to stay on this track so we can make this a habit. So now this is easy. This is pleasure. We're running towards this, all right? Instead of my stick figure, man, instead of running towards, you know, the bad stuff, we're running towards this right here. And the bad stuff is actually pain. It actually hurts to eat fast food. Actually, if I sleep in, I get mad, bro. I literally get mad and have to punish myself. All right. Here's one more thing I meant to mention. There's one more thing I meant to mention. Is that we're talking about habits, and I know this video is probably all over the place. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but hopefully you can gain some value. Hopefully you can just kind of draw the principles. You don't want to remember the formulas, just remember principles. All right. going back to the habit thing. When you're in a habit, and you'll say you're going for that month. It takes a month to be on autopilot. Okay, so you don't have to think about it. All right, so it takes about a month to make it on autopilot. So when you have a good habit, waking up, being disciplined, working hard, working on XYZ, getting in extra work, in order to make that consistent, okay? If you do it, you make it consistent. But also, if you have the negative habits, like sleeping in, all that stuff, sleeping in, being lazy, you do the negative habit and you sleep in, a lot of times people will substitute the good habit for the negative habit. What I mean by that is that, for instance, let's say in the morning you want to get extra work in. Well, let's say you skip that. All right, usually when people skip it, what do? They don't just skip getting extra work in and do what homework. No, they usually skip something to place it with negative habit, which is sleeping in, which is staying up late, which is watching TV. So when you skip the good habit, all right, when you skip the good habit and you choose a negative, your body, once again, what does it get? It gets dopamine, okay? It feels good. It's like, wow, this feels good. I'm feeling good. But the thing is, it's very sinister, bro. Because when you do that, your body doesn't really understand what's going on. Your body doesn't understand what you're trying to do. It just feels that it feels good. So now it's like, well, if I could feel good from sleeping in, like, why would I keep doing this hard thing if I could feel good about this? And next, you know what? When your body feels that way, what you did was you rewarded yourself for not doing anything. So your body's like, hey, if I can get rewarded for doing negative stuff, for not doing anything, I'm going to continue that cycle. That's why it's important. Even if you do, let's say, because things happen, let's say you do get out the rut, you need to punish yourself. All right. No Diddy. This ain't no freak off, no nothing like that. But you need to punish yourself because your brain doesn't understand what's going on. Your brain just thinks, hey, I did less and I feel good. Why don't I just keep redoing it? Your body's only going to do what you're rewarded for. For instance, you play football because why? Because you've been rewarded for being good at it or something. You found something that was really good. If I said, for a lot of you guys, building a computer, all right, would you get dopamine from building a computer? No, because you have no idea how to do it. So if I put all these different things and put it on the table, all right, and I say put it together, you have no idea. Well, you're getting no dopamine because you don't know how to do it. So you're never going to do it again. All right, a lot of things we do again over and over again is you play video games. You do dopamine. It gives you dopamine. Okay, so we keep doing it. So when we understand we did this negative thing, we slept in, we did that. Our body just like, hey, I feel good, and I didn't have to even put in no work. It wasn't like I got like to earn dopamine, like achieving my goals or like working hard or anything like that, or crossing off my to-do list. No, I just slept in. I did the opposite. I skipped my workout, I slept in, and I got dopamine. Your body's gonna be like, hey, well, next time I'm faced with this time where I either I can get up or I can sleep in, I'll just sleep in again. Because why? It's a habit. You made it a habit. All right, so in order to break that though, you have to punish yourself. All right, you have to tell yourself this is not okay. Just like, for instance, you're in football practice. If you show up late, what is your coach going to do? He's going to give you negative reinforcement. He's going to be, hey, you're going to work hard. I'm going to make you do extra so you don't do it again. Because humans respond to both positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, or punishment. Just like you're training a dog. If you're training a dog and you don't want him to do it, you're going to give him negative reinforcement. Okay, and then guess what? Your body learns not to do it again. If I show up late to practice, my coach had me run 2 stadium steps all the way around twice, and that thing hurt me bad. Trust me, my brain knows to never do it again. Okay, so when you slack up, or if you do something, something you're not supposed to, because we're all human. I'm not saying I'm the most perfect dude. I'm not saying I'm most consistent. I said earlier, I'm consistent 95% of the time. So what about that 5%? All right, in order for that 5% not to turn into a big thing, I have to punish myself, because I need to wire my brain as, hey, you did this, but don't do it again. Okay, because if I don't punish myself, it gets rewarded. I get to sleep in. I feel good. It gets dopamine. So guess what? It's very sinister, because even in a lot of you guys, even myself, I've done this in the past. If I skip something, if I do something I'm not supposed to, if I have a cheat meal, you rewarded yourself for doing absolutely nothing at all. So guess what? The body is going to do it again. Rather, if I did something and I punished myself, my body will be like, hey, last time I did this though, I got hurt. Hey, when you were a baby, you were a kid, your parents were raising you, you did something bad, they whooped that ass, you didn't do it again, right? Another thing is, if you're a kid and you did something and they didn't do nothing, well, guess what? You're probably gonna do it again. Same thing. It's all the same thing. If you do some lazy bum stuff and you don't punish yourself, well, guess what? You're probably gonna do it again. Okay, so you need to get out of that. All right. If we're trying to build a habit, we have to make it consistent every day. If we're trying to build good habits, we got to do it every day, either if it's a lot or it's little. It's about building the habit. And if we decide to do something, which is, get out of habit, which is more sinister than you think. That's why you shouldn't just, even if it's just a little bit, I should keep my habit, I should keep my streak alive, keep the streak alive. Even if we do, you have to punish yourself. You gotta punish yourself, because if you don't, you just gave yourself dopamine for doing nothing. You gave yourself a feel-good reason to be lazy. All right, and this is why you follow this same rut cycle of not being consistent. This is why you can't be consistent. This is the real breakdown of why you can't be consistent. You need to understand how the body is wired, how habits are the key, how you get dopamine from all these different things. You get dopamine from being lazy, and you get dopamine from doing good stuff. It works both ways, but your body doesn't understand what you're doing. It doesn't understand you're trying to achieve your goals. It doesn't understand that, or not the body, the brain. The brain doesn't understand you're trying to hit XYZ. It understands there's dopamine. Hey, I feel this way or I feel that way. So if you rewarded for feeling good without doing anything, hey, I feel amazing, I'm sleeping in, I didn't do nothing. Well, guess what? It's going to want it again. Okay, that's why we can't do it. So next time you do something bad, you got to punish yourself. You got to do something hard. You got to just do something hard, or something mentally, physically, something, so you don't fall into the trap. Okay, because if you do that, then you're probably not going to do it again. I'm pretty sure you got a spanking from your parents, or you ran one time after practice. You didn't show up late again, did you? No, you were less likely to, compared to if you did nothing, you probably did it again. Okay, but that's even if you fall into that. What you want to do is you want to make your hard work a habit. You want to make it consistent every day. I want to do it every day to the point that I don't have to think about it. So working hard and do extra work, it's not something I contemplate, or it's not nothing I think about. I just do it because it's who I am. It's not on me, it's in me. No diddy. Okay, so this is how you are going to be more consistent as a running back, a football player. I know this video is kind of a little bit all over the place. I didn't really understand how I was actually going to structure it, but hopefully you kind of understand it from my lens, and hopefully I explained it better. If I didn't, definitely just DM me on Instagram and I kind of can explain it a little bit more in detail. But this is how you can be more consistent for this season, because consistency is key. And if you want to be elite, if you want to be a dog, if you want to be a killer on that field, man, you got to be consistent, bro, because consistent always wins. Discipline always wins, man. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's your guy, KJ. Also, if you're running back and looking to get coaching from me, you want me to help you be consistent, you want me to help you to become elite, book a free strategy call where I can give you some advice, and then we can see if we could potentially work together, see if our online coaching program could be a good fit for you to help you achieve your goals this season. Because guys in our program, hey, they about to go for 1,500 this year, bro. So that sounds like you. We'll talk to you later, man. But hey, it's your guy KJ.